How's it going, everyone? If you are a regular subscriber viewer of the channel, you'll know that I haven't really made a ton of content on my Turbo X really at all as of late, and that's because the car really doesn't get driven at all. So I'll briefly describe the issue and why I haven't been driving it at all right now, and that is pretty much because the car has this very strange thing it does where under hard cornering it'll shift from side to side like this. Like, something is clearly very off. The alignment is also very messed up. I've gotten it in alignment twice and it just kind of gets all messed up within about 5 miles. Since this issue has been a thing, it's been at least a year, I think. And I initially thought it was my old coilovers because when the coilovers blew out, and I thought, oh, it's probably just that. So I got brand new Maptune coilovers. That didn't fix it. The car has new tie rods and some other suspension components as well, and none of that fixed it. So what the car really needs is just to be put up on a lift, get looked at by a professional. I don't know if it's bushing somewhere or what, but either way, I don't have the technical expertise to really diagnose it and fix it properly myself. But I did have some of you recommend and mention that it could be because of my tires, and that's where today's video title, which is somewhat clickbait, I'll admit, kind of comes into play here. So these are 19-inch wheels. They're an inch bigger than stock, and because of that I have some pretty low profile tires on here. They're 245 by 35, so relatively low profile compared to the stock 18s. I don't know the tire size off the top of my head, but we'll be able to check that later in this video. So I don't think this is the issue, only because the alignment is off too, and tires would not cause an alignment to be as far off as it is. I mean, it's really bad. But I figure, you know what? I haven't had these wheels off the car since I initially put them on about a year and a half ago. So that's going to be the plan in today's video, is to put the Turbo X wheels back on and we'll take it for a drive and see how it handles. Again, I doubt this is going to fix it, and I'm probably going to end up swapping these wheels back on only because these tires are kind of almost ruined at this point because of the alignment being so far off, and again, that's why I haven't really been driving it. But I really don't want to ruin the set of tires that are on the Turbo X wheels because those are still pretty good. But we'll keep it on for the short term and see what happens. But realistically, these will probably end up going back on the car. Now, because the car has been sitting for so long, you'll see it hasn't gotten a wash in a very long time. I'm doing a lot of talking in this intro and I apologize for that, but we actually do have a Saab Club of Arizona meet coming up here. It's going to be at the end of October. I'll put the banner on, or the poster that I made, on the screen right here. So feel free to DM me on Instagram if you're looking to come. We do have some people coming from out of state, so it should be fun. Hopefully like 40, 50, 60 Saabs at the most. I will put a link in the top corner here to the last time we had this meet at IMM Auto Service, which is the Saab shop here in Phoenix that I will be taking the Turbo X to have it looked at. So yeah, I'm going to be getting a paint correction done on the car. I'll have a video on that. That'll be before the meet sometime. I think I'm going to be doing it like the weekend before the meet. So within the next month, you'll probably see a video on that. Anyways, getting back to what I was originally saying, the car had been sitting for, I'd been starting it like once a week, kind of just like driving it around the block, and that was pretty much it. But I kind of was out of town for a lot of weekends, and I ended up just letting the car sit for too long, killed the battery. But I hooked it up to the charger, and it was fine. It's been charging for a whole day now, and you can see it's 100% charged, so we're good. So I'm going to throw this back in the car. So yeah, first step, let's get this in the car. We'll give her a good cold start and move the Dame out of the way. Focus camera, there we go. Move the Dame out of the way. And let's get these Turbo X wheels back on. The purists are gonna like this one. I set up the camera, I started the car, and I realized I forgot to hit record when I went to start it. So no cold start, sorry. But I'm sure you guys have heard what it sounds like before. It's been a while, but yeah, there it is. So one other thing I should mention about this car that I just realized I did. are the lower control arms. So there's been a lot that's been replaced. Still no avail. You can mention things in the comments, but by the time you see this video, this car is already probably going to be in the shop. So I'm just paying someone to do it because I've dealt with enough problems with the 9.5 that I don't want to deal with more problems with this car. I'd just pay someone to have it fixed and just be done with it. I'll also probably get some questions about brakes. These are just the stock Turbo X brakes with aftermarket rotors on it. Same size though, 345 millimeter. If you want to see a video where I install these brakes, click up here in the top corner. But before I put the Turbo X wheels on, I do want to take some time to talk about these tires. So this is the outside right here, you can see. And this is just, it looks like you can see the grooves in here still, but this is just about completely smooth. The middle here, they're pretty much on these wear bars. Not quite, but almost. So these tires are getting eaten through pretty fast. It's been maybe 10,000 miles. So something is clearly very wrong. Which again is why I'm not going to keep the Turbo X wheels on here long term. Or at the very least until this problem is fixed and it gets in alignment for good. One last thing I want to mention is these wheels I had on here came with different lug nuts as well, just because of how the wheels were designed. They're just different lug nuts, as you can see. So I'm going to be putting the stock lug nuts back on with the Turbo X wheels. So yeah, let's get to it. Because this is also only a temporary thing, like I said, I'm just gonna leave the center caps off, just because I don't want to have to deal with putting them on and off. So it's gonna look a little bit weird, but I promise you I still have the center caps. It's my first time seeing the Turbo X wheels with the new brakes I put on this car, and it looks pretty sharp. But I'm gonna go do the other side now on the front, and then we'll do the rear. Car has the stock wheels back on. Unfortunately, with my work schedule and it getting later in the year, I don't get home till it's almost dark, and now it is completely dark, as you can see. So we're gonna have to film this in the dark, but I think it's time to go take it for a rip. Maybe I'll film a little bit, maybe a couple accelerations, just so that way you guys can see something. So just coming down this hill, this is one of those things that like you can't really show on camera, but this road I'm coming down on this hill is kind of just like a couple of big windy turns, and I took it about 60 miles an hour. As I was turning right, the car just, I mean, it doesn't really do it in the wheel, but I could feel it pretty severely, even doing like 50, 55. So the wheels have definitely not fixed it, but we are coming up to the freeway here. So why don't we just under the underpass. Let's I am going to go get gas though, because if you can't tell, I am pretty low on gas. Okay, yeah, it's doing it there. It's doing it there. A little spooky because the lights are flashing too, but as soon as I went in that turn there, just, you might be able to see here. See, I'm not doing anything. The wheel just loves to turn on its own, and the car pulls pretty hard right. You can see I'm off the wheel here. You can see I'm about to go into the curb here. So yeah, something is very wrong. I don't know what it is. I mean, some of you might know, some of you might be right, but I'm at the point with this car, I'm like, this car is like the 9.5. except not quite to that point yet. And what I mean is with the 9.5, I've replaced part after part after part after part, and it hasn't seemed to fix its issue. Whereas with this car, I've replaced part after part after part, but I don't want to get into that same spiral of replacing continuous parts and not fixing the issue. I'm just gonna stop where I am right now and see if I can't fix this issue by taking it into a professional. But gas station is right there, so let's go fill up. As I'm sitting here getting gas, I'm just kind of realizing like the reason why I haven't been driving this car and why I've been putting off just kind of getting this thing fixed for so long. And one is, it's probably going to be a big bill, and two is, it's a car that I already drive on the weekend, so it's a car that I'm not driving much to begin with. But that's really the main reason why. I've just been kind of neglecting this car and putting it off. And there's a new Ford Raptor with an exhaust, and it sounds like a freaking fart can. Sounds terrible. Should have put a V8 in that thing. Anyways, I really want to, you know, give this car the care it deserves, and that's why I'm just going to take it into a shop. But as I'm sitting here, gas station lighting, just kind of being reminded of how much I truly do like this car. So I think that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. There goes a McLaren right there, pretty sick. Anyways, looks like this thing's robbing me of $43. Gas isn't too terribly expensive here compared to a lot of other parts of the world. $3.80 for 91. Unfortunately, we don't have 93 here. But yeah, I'm sure I will update you guys on what happens with this car. I'm also gonna have a cross-wheel drive service done when I take it in, but lower control arms done, entire new coilover suspension, and new tie rod ends on the front. So I don't know what it could be. You guys might have suggestions, probably some sort of bushing or something, but this car really just feels unsafe to drive at higher speeds, and because the alignment's so off too, I just don't want to ruin my tires more than I already have. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'll have more TurboX content coming at some point in the future, I promise. Make sure to check out our meet. Like I said, I'll put the banner on the screen right here again. And yeah, see y'all next time. Thanks for watching me and my pain and suffering.